Hey, what's going on? It's me with another video, a quick one shot, and today we're going to be talking about the megakaryocytes. So, megakaryocytes are essentially huge white blood cells that are found within the bone marrow. They are essentially one of the lymphocytes that form, and the breakdown is here on this famous chart, and they are on basically the same level as the granulocytes and agranulocytes. So basically, they contain a bunch of material in their nucleus, which is known as a lobulated nucleus. This is a cell, a lobulated cell, and you can kind of tell from the naming, mega meaning large, karyo meaning nucleus, and cyte meaning cell, that they're huge. And what you see from this chart, they turn into thrombocytes or platelets. So basically, platelets, if you remember from your basic biology, are pieces of cells which, when you get a cut, they flow through your bloodstream, and they gather through activation of various platelet factors, and through their receptors onto the wounded area, and they create meshes through their stored fibrinogen, so that they can prevent the blood from leaking outside of the vessel. So they allow clotting to occur, and they form clots on the skin and everywhere where a clot can be formed. So where do they come from? Their platelets are actually pieces of megakaryocytes that blow up. So let's see. Let's find a karyocyte animation. Let's see if we can find an animation uh, there um, where we can see what's happening with the megakaryocyte. So basically, this thing will be squeezed through the bone marrow as it travels through, and then under pressure it will break up. So basically, what happens is, like, how does it break up? Well, first of all, how does it get so big? So megakaryocytes are essentially, they increase to larger sizes through a process called endomitosis. So endomitosis is kind of like mitosis, but the key part is endo, which means that within the actual cell itself is where mitosis occurs. And here's a good image of it, right? Like, regular mitosis is when a cell splits into two, and you have part of that process is cytokinesis, and the cytoplasm kind of splits into two containers, which are two separate cells. In endomitosis, you don't have two separate cells form. You just have the nucleus become polyploidal, or many ploided, many lobed, and increasingly larger in size, right? But it's not really, it wouldn't be considered multinucleated. It's just a very large nucleus, and then essentially the megakaryocyte, it becomes huge. It has granules, and then and see, this intermediate stage is called a platelet forming megakaryocyte. And so what'll happen is, that's how it breaks down. All the material separates into the different platelets, and platelets themselves contain things like plasma. They contain their own thrombofactors, which allow them to contract and fit into the spaces they need to, into the meshes of fibrinogen that they form. And so these are platelet specific things. So when you actually get a sample of blood, what you'll see is that you'll see a lot of platelets in that sample of blood. But you really won't see these megakaryocytes, because by that point, by the time they've left the bone marrow, they've broken up mostly. And you might see one or two megakaryocytes, but that's it. So anyway, megakaryocyte, huge cell, interesting name, and that's a quick little tutorial on that. So without further ado, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.